Alright, so the last thing I would like to talk about and give you a glimpse of how it should be set in a proper way is the discovery feature. So thanks to the discovery feature, we may search through the domain controller for accounts with different privilege levels and add them to relevant safes and, listeners. We should consider this as a part of onboarding process, which grants the discovered accounts access to connections. In an alternative way of utilization, this feature can send the accounts to quarantine, which means it is blocking accounts on the target server. And to make a good use of discovery function and gain the efficient results, this functionality will require two specific objects to be configured initially. So the first one is a scanner with configuration of the target server and an account to connect and schedule for running the scanner automatically. The secondary, a rule to specify what our scanner should do in terms of possible discovery. And to have the discovery function fully automatic, it is advised to start its configuration from creating a rule and afterwards a scanner. We will try with the rules first maybe. To create a new one, we need to select the add button, and we'll have to fill out all of the information that are visible right here. Let me skip that part and let me show you how it should be configured from the very beginning. Let's select the DC1 rule, except the normal things that you have to fill here, like rule name and description, which is optional actually. Within the configuration section, we'll have to select account category for privilege, non-privilege, or maybe all. It's supposed to be an open one. In the account name, we should fill the select consists, starts with, and end with, and provide a specific string for the target account's name. If we'll leave it blank, basically, those three actions are possible right here. However, if we will leave it blank, it will search all of the accounts possible on that particular server. Next, if we're speaking about the main actions like quarantine and onboarding or onboard, then select the proper safe and do the same for the listener. Secondary, what needs to be done is to create a scanner, but please know that listeners with Bastion modes are supported only, at least at this point of configuration process. Take this into consideration while proceeding with this option. So next thing that we need to do is to create a scanner. And to make it possible, the same thing as previously, we need to go to the add button and fill out all the required items. As you can probably notice, everything is possible through the management section. Then you have to open the discovery tab and go to scanner. Let me show you the example of running the existing scanner. Alright, so the scanner name is required, scanner type, domain controller, this value is set by default. The scanner description, as with rule, is optional, so you don't have to fill it out. In the scheduled section, choose a day and time for your scanner to start automatically on a weekly basis. This field is optional also, so you can skip the step to start your scan manually anytime you want, of course. That particular section. In terms of configuration, we'll have to give like a very specific target server name. We can just simply go to that section anytime you want. The server address is also quite important, and the port number as well. Then we'll have to upload the CA certificate, the account which is going to be responsible for managing at least at some point all of the gather informations. Then we have to select the account category as with the rules settings, and we need to select from one of the following: privilege, non-privilege, or maybe all. Then we need to link it to the existing rule of ours. In our case, it's going to be DC1 rule. Then we'll have to save all the changes. And please note that in case more than one rule is added and the action overlap, the order of the rules is considered, meaning the first matching rule will be applied at this point. Next thing that we'd like to show you is the management section of all the newly discovered accounts. We'll have to go to the accounts tab. Then we do have a separation for a couple of different categories, all accounts, meaning that it will be providing you with all the information about the existing accounts. Discovered, since we didn't perform any further scanning process, there will be nothing here, it will be blank and remain blank for the time being. The onboarded, all those accounts are possible for us to connect to. So it means that we may link that specific safe that is storing all of those information into our account, and through the portal we are able to access to those accounts, to those resources. Alright, so under the management, as previously with the scan and the rule, we need to go to accounts and one of the respectful tabs, which is discovered, onboard, or quarantine. And we have to choose the accounts to be on board or quarantine by selecting the checkboxes next to the names on the left hand side right here. So let's select the first one. Now click on the manage accounts button. Those options are possible to achieve from here, from that model. So let's give it a try. Okay, and now choose one of the following actions. We can send that particular account to the quarantine. Optionally, you can add a reason of what was standing behind our decision, or onboard. And by selecting onboard, we'll just simply add that particular account to trusted zone. So onboard by adding the discovered accounts to the specific save, or the listener, of course, because we'll have to also specify those information. And if you don't want to repeat this process, just simply mark the create rule checkbox right here. By making this option active, you will define actions to be executed automatically by scanner in future, and you'll have to save all of the information.